One of the cool things about Cheap Trick is that Rick Nielsen wrote the lyrics, but they're dark and they're very funny and they're clever. And this is a great example, because the first verse, if you listen to it, it's about a kid who's he's a boomer generation kid, but he's talking to his GI generation parents, right? And he's trying to figure them out. And so his mom says to him in the first verse, watch out who you're with, because you never know what you'll catch. So she's talking about STDs. And he's like, oh, that's kind of weird. And she said, I know because, there's soldiers, and she makes a reference that their penises are falling off because of these STDs that they have. And the reference is, there's Indonesian junk that's going around, right? So it's this STD. So anyway, he kind of questions that, the kid does. And then the dad comes in the second verse and says, well, your mom knows because she was, in the WACS in Philippines. But the WACS is the Women's Army Corps. And so the kid is impressed, and he's like, oh, that's kind of funny. I thought they only recruited old maids for the war. And I know that mom's not one of those. I've known her all these years, right? So it's really cool, because it's like this conversation that's going on between the mom and the dad and the kid. And then the third verse is the funniest, because he says he comes in, or he wakes up and he sees his mom rolling around on the couch with the dad, right? Rolling numbers, smoking dope, rock and rolling, got my Kiss records out. They're listening to his Kiss records. And he's like, my parents are actually cool after all. They're just a little bit weird.